Hi Mini enthusiasts, how are you doing? Welcome back to part 36 of the project kit build. Continuing on from where we left off last time, I think I might have said we'd done this already, but Mark was just taking apart the rear radius arm there, just moving it sideways so he could get that inner rubber, the rubber sort of ring which goes round the outer washer on the radius arms. Unfortunately, the inner one fell off on the floor before the radius arm was fitted, didn't realise, and the outer one got crimped, so it's just a case of loosening it all back off and refitting it again. And I think I was just under the back there finishing off the exhaust. So as you might have seen there, it was a little bit jerky on the throttle, and that was because there was a little bit longer than normal delay in going into gear. Hopefully that's just where it's been laid up for a long time with no engine in the gearbox, and this is the first time it's sort of run properly, so I'm going to give it a drive up and down the driveway a bit and just see if that improves, but there's probably about a 3 or 4 second delay. Mark just showing us his health and safety prowess here, smoking a fag while working around the fuel tank, so please ignore Mark. And you get a bit of a vision of the rear exhaust here, so as you can see it's a kind of a centre exit, large oval made by Maniflow. And you didn't see me down around the front there, we must have missed off a bit of footage or the GoPro had run out, but we had problems with the engine. So the engine was all assembled out of the car, and we put it all together, put it in the car, run it up, filled it with water, and the head gasket was leaking down the back of the engine, so it was dripping water down the back of the engine once it warmed up. Now everything's new on it, so not quite sure why it done that, still not sure now. Thought maybe that the studs were bottoming out. It was definitely torqued down correctly. I'm not sure. I have a little bit of a theory. We had it hanging on the engine crane for quite a while, hanging from those head studs. It was on a proper frame that you use for lifting the engine, but we had all the ancillaries on the engine. It's a very heavy engine, so I don't know whether the head studs would have stretched, I don't know, or whether they moved or something like that. But anyway, luckily, head gasket job on a Mini is not a very big job to do, and it's better to find out now it was leaking rather than once we were heading off down to London to Brighton. So in sort of the next update, I think you'll see me taking the head off again, replacing it, replacing the head gasket. The only thing we did do is Mark opted for ARP head studs the second time round. Just didn't want to take any risks with it. But touch wood, it all seems to be fine now. So Mark was cursing the rear lights on Bolt because it bought new rubbers from Mini Spares, and although the rubbers should be the same, they were quite clearly different quality of rubber. One side was shinier than the other side, one side was more flexible than the other side, one side fitted okay, the other was a pain. So, yeah, mini bits. Frustrating, isn't it? So Mark's just building up the boot lid here. These are the sort of bits I hate doing. And to be fair, I haven't really got involved in the bits and bobs like this. Mark has been doing all of this stuff. I've been doing sort of the mechanical bits, the oily and greasy bits. The reason I don't like doing stuff like this is just because I've worked on cars all my life, and I can guarantee if there's something I don't want to scratch, it's like I'm magnetised to it. I will slip with a screwdriver, or just something will happen. I'll sneeze and something will fall over onto it. So I'm quite happy to stand back and let Mark do it. Although admittedly, Mark's admitted to making a few scratches here and there. But I think, as you could see with him masking stuff up before he does stuff, he's being very careful about it. But it is really difficult to do. And obviously Lucy back involved with the build as well, so Lucy's done a fair old amount on this. She'll be doing me out of a job before long. And always quite helpful if you have two people putting a boot lid on, because it's not very easy to do by yourself, especially if you're putting those hinges on. Not too bad if you don't mind about scratching it. Do you think Lucy's bored? Bit cheeky. I didn't even know that was on the footage. I was just reviewing it, going through it, and I just happened to pause at the moment Lucy was pulling her face. So I thought it might be quite funny to include it, just to show everyone still has a sense of humour. So I'm actually quite nervous at the moment. I've still got loads and loads of footage to update, and I want to get it all uploaded by London to Brighton. I don't know whether that's going to happen. If it is, I think I'm going to have to put a video up pretty much every day between now and next week. So I'll give it a go, but it can take 3 or 4 hours to edit these and upload them, so sometimes I just run out of time to get it done. See there the KITT logo going on the back, so that's from Ruthless Sticky Fingers. He's great at making up badges, custom badges, things like that, and stickers and decals. So yeah, just a bit of the customisation with KITT. Now I am quite impressed here. So Mark's doing the headlining on KITT. He's never done a headlining before. I've never done one either. So I think I'm going to get him to come and do my headlining, because he makes this look pretty easy. I think, to be fair, the type of headlining you use makes a big difference. So this headlining is from Optimize. It's a cloth headlining as opposed to like a vinyl headlining. Is it vinyl, or are they like plastic or something like that, aren't they? But it's a cloth headlining like on a later Mini, like an MPI Mini, which they're not that great because they attract the dirt really easily, and over time they do look tired and dirty, but you know, this is a show car, it's never going to get that dirty, so it's not too much of an issue, but it does look far easier to fit than the vinyl ones. The only thing I would say is if you look where the rails go along the top of the headlining, they stick material to run the rails through, and you can clearly see those lumps in the headlining. I don't know whether they'll smooth out a bit over time, but at the moment you just kind of get some extra ridges in there, but we'll see how it goes anyway. Like I say, I don't know whether this headlining is easy to fit or whether Mark just makes it look easy, but yeah, it's done a pretty good job there. And again, helping hand from Lucy. Again, this is one of the sort of jobs I'd do. I'll get it all nice and then I'd slip with a blade at the end and slice it through the middle of the headlining or something like that. So just a reminder, if you've got this far, you're enjoying it, please give it a thumbs up. If you're at London to Brighton next Sunday, Sunday the 19th of May, KITT will be on the Brighton Mini Club stand, along with Piao. My father-in-law's driving Piao, and I'll be there with Vinny. I'll be going up to Crystal Palace and Vinny, driving it down on the Sunday morning. So I don't know where Vinny will be parked, somewhere up Madeira Drive. So next sort of challenge for Mark is fitting the windows back in. As of today, he's done that. He's done it pretty well in a good time as well. So thanks to Dave Jaguar, actually. Dave, I think he watched your videos of how to fit the front windscreen. I think he said he'd done it in 35 minutes, which for a first go is pretty good going. So we're drawing to an end of this update. Like I say, keep an eye out because they'll be coming. I've got to try and get probably one in a day for the next 5 or 6 days. So a bit of a challenge, but like I say, I want to get it all up before London to Brighton, and then obviously we'll have the reveal at London to Brighton. So thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for all the comments people leave. Some, you know, people can be very helpful sometimes, point out things I've missed, or just offer some suggestions we haven't thought about. So it is very, very useful. And just at the end there, you can see the cylinder heads off the car. So thanks, guys. See you again soon. Cheers. Bye.